first of all, the first thing that comes to mind that I want to say about that is marriage is for adults,
Mhm.
not children.
Love
Mm.
it. I
Marriage
love it.
requires sacrifice and thinking of others as much as you think of yourself.
Yes.
So, although I do understand that the male species, in 98% of cases values freedom over everything else.
Mm.
I think, part of what drove me crazy is I felt like we were two good people,
Mhm.
smart
Mm.
people. I do think we loved each other, but we just didn't understand relationship dynamics at all. And
Mhm.
we were just making terrible mistakes due to ignorance and we'd go to marriage therapists, but they really didn't help us. I mean, I don't even know what we were doing in there. I don't remember learning one thing in marriage therapists at that time that was extremely helpful for us. And then so we kept going and coming back, going and
Mhm.
coming back.
Mhm.
And next thing you know, we're divorced and we're both single parents and our children's, suffered. And now I've got like 32 years in hindsight to see how it affected all of us,
Mhm.
especially my
Mhm.
children. And I just cringed thinking about it. So it just drove me nuts. Like that the therapist, like, what is a marriage therapist for? Like, what are they doing? Why
Yeah.
couldn't they help us?
Right.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I just sort of came out of there. And as soon as you get the handcuffs off of you in school with the
Uh-huh.
supervisor staring at you all the time and criticizing you, and you get your license and everything, then
Mhm.
you get to go do what you want to do and how you want to do it,
Right.
with the ethical guidelines of your
Right.
field. So I
Yeah.
started becoming more of a teacher in my therapy and also still seeking different models that weren't presented to me in graduate school because I
Mm.
didn't feel like I had the right tools. And so as I was looking around, I found some really great models that just changed everything for me. And that's when I felt like I became pretty powerful in my work. Well, I
See?
got divorced in Texas, and it's all about the
Oh.
man in Texas. The divorce law is very skewed toward the person who is the supporting primary
Mhm.
supporter of the
Mhm.
family,
Yes.
which and
Uh-huh.
I'm in the younger end of the baby boomer generation. So I was raised in a kind of patriarchal family,
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Mm.
traditional, dad working and mom not working,
Mm.
dad educated, mom not,
Mhm.
high school education.
Okay.
Um, and so, yeah, that's what I grew up with. And so I started off life kind of thinking that's the model I was going to live in. And so
Mhm.
then
Mm.
when I was married, I found out that I didn't enjoy being a housewife. It was very torturous for me. And then my
Right.
brain needed to be more stimulated. And
Mm.
so that was part of my marriage crisis was I needed to break out and create my own identity as
Mhm.
myself,
Right. Right.
be someone's wife,
Mm.
So one of the things I had to consider in my own divorce decision was the man I was married to was extremely successful. He was an orthopedic surgeon and a very popular one. And he made a ton of money. And every year he made a huge amount more than what he made the year before.
Right.
And the Texas laws were going to leave me destitute overnight. And I mean from
Oh my
upper
goodness.
upper class to lower class
Mhm.
Wow.
overnight. So that was a huge consideration for me,
Mm.
that I wouldn't be getting spousal support and that the most child support I could hope to get would be about $1,200 a month. So,
Oh
Wow.
wow. Mm.
yeah. So, and I had no career at that time. And I just think a lot of people are just in denial about how all these things affect the children. Children
Right.
Yes. Yes.
typically don't want divorce. It's
Mhm.
foisted on them. It's the parent that wants it. And so, I have a philosophy that if you're going to foist this on your kids, then you owe it to them to
Right.
do the best you can to get them through it in the
Right.
healthiest way.
Yes. Yes.
So I educate people about healthy post-divorce dynamics,
Mm.
and then when you start dating and all that stuff and blending people, all the things you need to know about that, because
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole nother huge subject. That's there's a lot to know so you can avoid big problems. I'm working with several marriages right now that are about to fall apart because of the blended family dynamics. And you should have plenty of freedom in a marriage, and you should have uh, space to take care of your individuality.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You still have to do it in consideration of the person that you've signed up as your life partner. And
Mm.
so it depends on what checking in means. I mean, if I'm dealing with a couple where one spouse has a obsessive compulsive disorder, let's say, or an anxious attachment,
Yes.
and they have short-term memory, so they need to be reminded, once an hour that you love me and you're thinking about me, or that's not reasonable.
Right.
Right.
Those kinds of things aren't reasonable. One of the theories of marriage therapy that I cherish the most is called emotionally focused therapy,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
created by Sue Johnson from Canada. She died about a year ago
Uh-huh.
this week, and a terrible loss for us. But she said that marriages need three things to have a solid foundation, and she felt that solid marriages were totally about attachment. Okay, and so
Yes.
someone who's not checking in is an avoidant attached person. That's a
Uh-huh.
person that's avoiding connection and doesn't want the obligation of having to be there. Nope. The number one thing a couple has to have is accessibility
Mm.
to have a
Uh-huh.
solid foundation. And that is, I know you're there for me. I know you will be there for me.
Mm-hmm.
If I
Yes.
need you, you'll be there. I reach out for you and you come. And so when someone's not checking in, it's not conducive to the
Mhm. Right.
accessibility.
Right.
And just in case anyone else is wondering about the foundation thing, the other two that are required is responsiveness. If I
Mm-hmm.
ask you, hey, would you please tell me where you're going and
Mm.
how long you'll be gone, that you're responsive to my
Mm-hmm.
reasonable
Yes.
request. Now, if
Yes.
you're asking me to call you every hour throughout the workday, that's not reasonable.
Right.
Right.
So
Right.
I should be responsive to your reasonable requests. And then the third one is engagement. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
into me, you're into what I'm doing, I'm into you, and into what you're doing, and I'm interested in you. And you can tell when a couple's engaged,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You can tell when a couple's disengaged. Like you
Right.
see
Right.
in the restaurants that are just sitting there chewing their food and not even looking.
Mm-hmm.